Hello guys, good evening. I hope we all had a good day. So in today's session, we are just going to quickly look into operating system that is being used, popularly used by hacker and cybersecurity professional. And before you, as you can see, this is an operating system. It is called Kali Linux. It is a Linux-based operating system. You know, I know the time might be strange to you if you are not a tech savvy. So I will quickly explain what operating system is. Operating system is, we are most familiar with Windows operating system, right? So particularly many people think that that is the only OS is the short form for operating system that we have. So we have a lot thousands of operating system that is being built, customary built for specific function. So like the Windows OS now is user friendly, everybody knows about that one. But we have Linux also, and one of the Linux distro that that is customly built for hacking and cybersecurity professional job is the one that is before you. We have Kali Linux and Parrot OS. So I will just be going through Kali Linux, going through the running go walk you through the interface and how it looks like. So I'm actually running this on my own Windows operating system. So as you can see, this is a this is the what it looks like. So I will click here, and in this place we have, as I've said, it is not a day-to-day operating system. No, it is for professional, and it has a specific use. It is not for general use. So as you can see here, you can see that everything about it is quite different from the one you may be familiar with, which is Windows 10 and Windows 11. You get it right. So you can see we have information. Of course, as I've said, it comprises is an operating system that is tailored to hacking and defending. Cyber is tailored to hacking and defending activities of hackers. So in this case, actually, before I go deep into it, this is not most of the scammers actually is different from scam hackers, right? Hackers, they hack. These are the guys that have curiosity. They have the understanding of the system, and most of them are educated, right? So they know what is going on with the computers. They can break into the computers, and they know what makes computer to be computer, and they can break into it. So scammers on the other hand, these are just people that are just using formats, you get it, to just scam people out of their hard-earned money. So I'm not scammer is out of this. So if I'm talking about hacker are more advanced. They use tools for them to achieve their goals. They use tools. Most of these tools are open source. Open source simply means it is free, right? So and on the other hand, there are tools that are being that are being commercialized rather. So before now, you can see that we have information gathering. So in hacking methodology, I know I haven't explained that yet, but let me quickly go through it, give you a tips of it. In hacking, there is a methodology that you follow, and the first thing is information gathering, right? If you are to hack a target now, you have to first have a peripheral or superficial knowledge about the target. You can't just start attacking the target you don't know, right? Information gathering simply means gathering information about the target you want to attack or you want to protect. So in this case, I know this is a class for for protecting ourselves against cyber activities, cyber defending ourselves against cyber criminals. So I'm being specific here in terms of cyber security, not as a malicious user. So in this case, if you are to protect yourself, and actually if you want to, as in line as a professional into this field, we have a lot of job roles, and one of it is pen testing, which is penetration testing. So in this case, they employ them to companies employ penetration tester to break into their system to find vulnerability before the bad guys do. So they gather information. Most of the information they gather, this information, they are free online. So it is information gathering process, and you can see here we have IDS analysis. IDS simply stand for DNS analysis. DNS simply stand for domain name server or system. It's you can see the domain name system as as your contact, the list of contact you have on your phone, right? If you are to memorize each and everybody's number, maybe you have a friend of yours that is wearing green, right? Like myself now, I have Bola's contact on my phone, right? Instead of me to memorize his contact in numbers, so I use Bola to save his contact. So DNS also is like trying, because I know I haven't gone deep. There are some process I just bypassed, but what makes computer to interact together over the internet, your phone, your computers, anything that is internet connected, they all have an IP stand for internet protocol. In this case, a IP is just a number, right, like that your phone number. But if you are to be memorize the IP of every service you use, for example, if you are to memorize IP address for Facebook, it won't be comfortable, it will be difficult for woman, but it is perfect for computer, right? So in this case, we domain name server actually is, as its name is implied, domain name. For example, facebook.com, let me use google.com has an IP address of 8.8.8.8. Just imagine that you want to memorize that, and you want to be memorizing IPv4 address for every service you use. It will be difficult, right? So the process to solve this challenge is by using domain name. So domain name stand for domain name system. In this case, domain name for 8.8.8.8, which is google's, is google.com. So every internet service, every internet every internet service provider that you interact with, they all have an IP address and domain name. So in this case, the information gathering process, we can see that we DNS analysis, these are the tools that you use. I won't be going through all the tools. I'm just giving you a intro to operating system, the Kali Linux operating system. I will just be mentioning the phase. We have information gathering phase. These are the tools you actually use to gather more information about your system, because most of this thing you'll be you'll be using tools. You can't be using manually, it will take a long time. So there are tools like this that can help you actually gather information about your targets. So we have this one, is actually network mapper, the one you'll be using mostly. This one, mmap, it is called network mapper. It is used to gather information about networks of an organization. Okay, so Multigo is an advanced one also. So after that, you can see vulnerability analysis. These are tools that you can use to analyze vulnerability in a product, whether in a in a service. Vulnerability, what's the meaning of vulnerability? Vulnerability is a loophole. It's a loophole in which an attacker can exploit in our program, in our services, in anything. Most of the time, people that get scammed, right, there's a loophole that the scammers actually get into, that the scammer used to exploit them. Actually, it is not, this vulnerability it is not only limited to what is it called, to program, to computer. No, human being actually is it has major vulnerability, and that term is known as in code social engineering, right? That is the umbrella name for vulnerability in human being. When hacker try to exploit vulnerability in human being, it is called social engineering. So we can see we have Nikto, we also have Nmap, we have this Nexus scanner. You can use it to scan for, it does the same work as Mmap, but you can see this is a free one. I am using free one here. There is a commercial one that can actually scan more IPs. This Nexus free one is limited. It's limited to number. I think it is, you can only scan 16 hosts. So you can see we have web application analysis. What's the meaning of web application? Web application, these are webs. These are applications that runs on the webs, right? Like facebook.com is a web application, like google.com is a web application. Every application that you interact with using your browser, it is called web application. So analysis means trying to we are analyzing for vulnerability that we can exploit. So these are the tools you will use. We have Bobsuit, we have Comics, we have Skipfish, SQL Map, WPS Scan, and Zap. So the one that we'll be using, all of this has a different functionality. Bobsuit is used for as a proxy, right? This one is actually you can't do without this one if you are to be targeting web application, if you are to be doing web application analysis, right? So we have Bobsuit, right? Bobsuit is used to intercept the traffic between your server and your browser. It stands as a middleman. Just imagine a middleman between your laptop and the server. So and we have database assessments, SQL Map, we have password attacks. Here you can see here password attacks. We have Seaware, Crunch, we have Hashcat, John, Medusa, Encrack, Offcrack, and Wordlist. This in a subsequent class we will be hacking. We will be hacking password to, we've talked about password in previous session that we have talked about password, creating strong password, right? If you can still check the forum, you will see it there. Trying to create strong password. If you can get a strong password, of course, it will be difficult for all these two that you are seeing here to crack. But if your password is weak, I can tell you in a mid-second, right, I can crack your password. So in a subsequent class we will be seeing how that is done using John. So watch out for that. We have wireless attacks. I also talk about wireless, also protecting your wireless from from intruder, right. These are tools that you can actually use to attack your Wi-Fi, right, to get your password, to do bad thing that an attacker can use, a malicious hacker can use to impact threats, or to impact, what is it called, malicious act to yourself or to your business. So we have reverse engineering. This is, as it is called, reverse engineering. These are tools that you use to reverse engineering. Is like, for example, now when you mix ingredients together, like you mix water and blood, for those that study chemistry, or for those that study chemistry. If you mix water and blood together, there's a separation techniques you can use, right, to separate water from the blood. I forgot, is it, it's not, they can, is it crystallization or something like that, trying to get back. The process of reverse engineering is trying to get that blood out of that water. We are reversing it back. That is the same methodology. And exploitation tools, in exploitation tools, these are tools after an attacker has gained, after he has gathered information. What will he do with this information? He will now use this information to attack the target, right. So let's now imagine that the attacker has attacked the target. He has gained an entry into our system. That is what they call exploitation, right. Yes, he is now in our system. Of course, I'm talking in this time as an organization, right. A corporate, for example, Microsoft. These are big corporations, right. And if an attacker has get an access into their network, it will be difficult, except they are constantly monitoring. This is where comes the job of cybersecurity. They are constantly monitoring for malicious packet that is moving over the wire. So you can see exploitation tools. These are the tools an attacker will use to exploit of exploitation, to actually use the vulnerability that we found. So these are the tools you can use to exploit. We have the one that we'll be using, that an attacker use, that is mostly used, is Metasploit framework. It contains all the, it has more than 2,000 payloads. Payloads are, these are codes that you will use to actually exploit the vulnerability, right. It has, a lot of these are this Metasploit framework is the tool that actually contain, that is industrially used by both criminal and cybersecurity professional. And let's move on to sniffing. We also have sniffing and spoofing. Sniffing, what is the meaning of sniffing? Sniffing, you can just see this way, that sniffing is like trying to eavesdrop when maybe you and your friend is communicating, and somebody is eavesdropping over your conversation, right. That's what they call sniffing. Yes, we sniffing and spoofing. So when somebody is sniffing over the network, and it's somebody that we don't want to authorize to sniff. Maybe the conversation is private and somebody is trying to sniff, to eavesdrop over the conversation. So these are the tools we use. The one that we'll be using, all these packets. Yes, let me quickly explain. The one that is widely used, and the one you'll be engaging with particularly, is Wireshark. Wireshark, yes, and it is a good tool to know. Wireshark is, all, as you are sending, everything is just user friendly. Nobody knows what is going on. When you pick up your phone or your system and you just say, you open Chrome and you type google.com and you send it, bam, you don't know that something is going on behind the scene that you can't see, right. These are the things. If you actually want to see that thing that is going on behind the scene, it is called protocol analysis, right. Protocol or packet analysis. The tool that is widely used is Wireshark. These are the things that will be showing you what is going on, the packet that is being sent out over the wire, the packet that you receive, you get it. So it is good so that you can see, and the one we have here is Mark Changer. Mark Changer is a media access control. That is the full meaning of Mark. Every devices, whether it is phone, whether it is, every device that is internet connected has a MAC address. It is called MAC address, media access control. This MAC address is unique to every devices, and it is purposely designed so that it can be unique, to each individual, and it's actually being used to, to trace somebody over the wire, to trace somebody over the internet rather. So we have a device, as I'm talking to you now, I will show you, let me quickly show you what my MAC address is. So to get my MAC address of this bus that I am using, I will type ifconfig. You can see this is my MAC address, ITA. It is you can see it here 0800274373 BC. This is my MAC address. If you check your own system, but this is a Linux operating system, but if you are on what is it called, on Windows, and you want to check your MAC address, there's a process. You will first press Windows key. After pressing Windows key, you will type this command. After pressing Windows key, you will type cmd. A box will open, and inside that cmd you will now type ipconfig/all. So once you type that, the command will operate here, because this is a Linux operating system. This command will work on Linux. It can only work on Windows. After you type it, it will display such thing as this. This is your MAC address. It is unique to you, right? So this is criminal actually use this to hide to make them anonymous over the internet, so that whenever they are doing something malicious over the internet, they can use that to change their MAC address. So let me quickly, I show you the MAC address, MAC changer, right? This is it here, sniffing and spoofing. We have MAC changer. These two, you can use it to change your MAC address. Let me show you an example. If I do MAC changer -h -h stand for show me help. You can see the help. It's helping this help. If I want to change, please follow me. This is my current MAC address, right? Can you see it? This is my current MAC address, and I want to change it now. So if I want to change it, I will first choose the what is it called, the interface I want to change. And this interface, this is what they call interface, Ethernet, because the connection I'm using right now is Ethernet, which is like a cable. When you connect a cable to your network. But of course I'm using Wi-Fi, but the setup that I have, it is only showing here as Ethernet. So let me quickly show you change the MAC address. This is my current MAC address, right? 00800274373 BC. So to change it, I will say MAC changer dash. You can see the option we have. It says show, print the MAC address and exit. No, another set random vendor MAC of the same kind. Yes. To actually change it, I can use -m. This one is random, as it is called, random. It will randomize my MAC address, right? But if I want to change it to the anyone that I want to choose, I can use this option here. You can see MAC -m. Can you see it? -m. I can now change it to anyone that I want to use. So let me quickly do that. -m. I will say, it is 0008 before. I can say 0722113344 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let me now say AB A1A. Sorry, I missed something here. So I think the command is not correct. So let me change it back to -mac equal to. You can see the example that is being given us here. We have to follow the same so set device name, no such device. So actually there is a limit. Actually, it's because we haven't studied not get into there's a, what is it called, I think MAC address can only start from the letter that we can use is from A to Z. No, A to F, and the letter on the numbers, letters we can use from A to Z, A to F, and numbers we can use is from 0 to 1, which is 0 to 9. Actually, it's a computer only understands zeros and ones. There is no 10 in computer, right? Which is 0 actually stand for 10. So let me redo it. Let me use randomization to actually set the random vendor MAC of the same kind. MAC changer -m -a. Not getting it. Set random vendor MAC of the same kind. So I will use this one to correct this. This is just only telling me that the numbers I've used 00 00 00 11 22 33 44 55. Wow, What is happening? So actually guys, I didn't prepare to actually show you how this is done, but you can get the quick intro that this is actually what you can be most of the time. These are the tools that most the hackers use to hide their to make them anonymous. Anonymous means simply means the unattribution to your action. In other words, people will be seeing what you are doing, but they can't track it, they can't know who is doing that thing. So this is one of the tools that hackers use to hide their trail over the internet. And as I've said, it is a good tool also for not only for criminal but for somebody that is doing cybersecurity, to have in his arsenal. So we have post exploitation. What is post exploitation? Post exploitation is post as it is called, which is which means after, right? After we have exploited the system, what do we want to achieve? What is our goal? These are the tools that help us achieve our goal. This PowerShell Empire, these are wicked, deadly tools that that help us actually attain, because we don't just want to hack the system and stay on the system, right? There's a goal in which every criminal is after, right? Maybe to steal, to steal money, to steal credentials, to just do bad things. So those are the tools they use. And we have forensics, right? So I will stop here so that the video will not be longer than as I have expected it to be. So thank you guys. I hope this this video, and before you, this is terminal. Yes, this is what they call terminal, right? So you can see that it's quite different from Windows, because Windows is user friendly, but this one is for, you have to know Linux command. All these commands you have to know. LS stand for list every files and folders. This is files, this is folders. Workspace is my folder, and this is my my files that is under desktop directory. You can see. So I will stop there. Thank you for your time. God bless.